Do I dare throw off convention? Do I dare throw off everything that I think I know about magic? All the rules, all the stuff I've done before, all the ways I've done it, all the things that seem to be holding me back, like the shoulds and shouldn'ts of magic and my practice. What will happen if I throw all of that off and I just dive into the call I have for fresh magic to really be the embodiment of the spell that I am? That's the question I'm asking right now. And how do I do that? How do I bravely let go of all of that stuff so that I can really live a more magical life? I just had 15 days in Wales, witching my way through Wales. And I was so struck with the freedom, like the openness of not having any conventions really calling to me. There was no shoulds. There was just nothing that I had to do other than be present with the beauty of the land and whatever it was that I was feeling and my connection to that. I spent my time in Wales. When I first got there, I did my typical thing where I thought I'm seeking that mountaintop experience, that moment that will happen where, I will just have this earth-shattering thing that changes me. And it's so interesting because I feel like the older we get, we realize that life is not a moment, but the culmination of moments. And I'm in the car, so sorry if this sounds a little rumbly on my gravel road here. Life is the picture of all the moments, all the threads in the tapestry, not just the one moment, not just the mountaintop moment, but the valley low, and the times of boredom and all of those things. And so I went on this trip, and a couple days into it, I got sick. Yep, I got sick. And that seems to be a theme for me this year. Starting back when I had my accident in August, I was in a car wreck last August, and it just changed my ability to work on the farm and to be present with the land and just all of the things that I needed to get done and do. And it's made me do life in a different way. And over again, I have tried to step into my life in this typical sort of Aries fashion, where I grab hold of it and go and be and do and make it happen. And the universe has said no. Like the goddess has just said, nope, what you need to do is you need to be present in your body. You need to be here now. You need to learn how to get out of your head and into your heart, into your body, and really feel your way into what is happening. And she has been so gracious to slow my world down through this injury that I had, which it happened. I'm not going to say I would have asked for it again because it's been a lot. But being on this trip in Wales, I suddenly get sick and I'm not able to sort of grab a hold of it in a way that I normally would. I had limited faculties, and I was definitely in my body because I had to take a bunch of meds to keep myself going. And so what I did is I tapped into this beautiful and mystical land through the 4 elements. I really just let my body be present with every sacred site that I went to. And I allowed myself to just sink into the land and the elements through, number 1, the bird song. Oh my goodness, the most amazing bird song over there. Birds that we don't have here in Oregon. That was the element of air. And to feel the element of air in a way that transcended my mind, to let the bird song speak to my body, to my connection to the earth and to that realm was so incredibly rejuvenating. I don't even have words for it because it's so completely different than I'm used to engaging with the element of air. I'm used to being so up in my head mental, and it wasn't like that. It was just, I'm going to experience air in my body. And then to experience the element of water through streams and rivers, which is something that we don't have in the US, is venerated wells or springs. So to go over there and experience these places, these sacred places of water that people have gathered with for centuries. They have poured their veneration into it. They have come there to connect with the spirit of that spring itself and the life-giving force of the land to them, to their bodies, for healing and restoration. It was truly profound. It was such a wonderful, gorgeous experience. And I brought back different well waters from different places that I went to. And I have them here to be able to sit and hold them and be with them and experience that again and remind myself of the beauty of the power of water and the power of running water, but also the power, like I said, of wells, of springs. What would a trip to sacred sites in Wales be without stones, the Neolithic stones? We went to several sites with stones, and it was amazing for me to connect with the earth realm through stone. I have been connecting with stone since Samhain. That has been something that I've really been doing, is connecting with stone and learning about the wisdom of stone, listening to stone. I have just learned so much about a pace that is so patient and wise, so calm, so steady, so cool and implacable. And so what was amazing was to connect with each one of these Neolithic sites in a way that, again, went beyond words. Some of these stones, I felt nothing, frankly. I did not have some profound connection to the stone itself. Some of them, when I touched them, I thought, wow, if I stayed here long enough, I definitely would fall through into another realm. Like they were portals to other places. Like, yeah, move over Outlander. There was one stone in particular at this very small Neolithic site where I thought, wow, I actually cannot remain touching this stone or I will be whisked away into another realm. Really, really powerful, just fabulous. Last but not least, the element of fire is amazing for me to connect with fire on a completely different level through the trees, through the green fire, which is something that I have known about in my head, but never actually felt in my body the way that I did while I was on this trip. So amazing to connect with the trees there. The stunted oaks are so gorgeous. Everywhere we went, I just couldn't keep my hands off the trees. I really connected with the hawthorn. It was something that was just really, really beautiful for me to engage with and to just let that power and that light, bright energy flow through me. Such a sunny, powerful, mystical, sparkly, a beautiful connection to the part of myself, just such a glorious, glorious energy. And I connected with these incredible places that for some people, like I had so many different people on this tour. I was on a tour, so I was on a tour with 16 other people with very different ideas about spirituality. Like I expected, I don't know why, but I expected everybody to sort of be really witchy, and I was kind of the only witchy person there. but people nonetheless that were deeply connected to the spirit realm in their own profound way, and were living that out. And that was a beautiful piece of contrast and confirmation in the ways in which I connected or clashed even with some of the people on this trip, to really understand my own path and to be comfortable in that and embrace the beauty of that, while also honoring their path, which is a lovely gift to give ourselves and others when we accept that people do things differently. Which brings me back to this notion of, in this place of freedom that I had on this journey, on this trip, understanding that I am able to do things differently, that I am able to be integrous to myself in my own way, honoring my own path, by throwing off the ideas that anybody else might have about me, but even throwing off some of the ideas that I have about myself. Anybody else out there ever get kind of stuck in your own ideas of self? Like, they become so limiting, and a lot of times those ideas are just made up from our past. They're not allowing us to remain fresh and new and alive. So as I said in last week's video, this really afforded me the ability to cast off and start this new adventure because of the freedom that I experienced during this journey in Wales. Just absolutely lovely. Last but not least, connecting with my ancestors. My last maiden last name is Welsh. And so connecting with the land and allowing myself to open up to the ancestral realm there. We visited several graveyards, one with 8 sacred bleeding yew trees. This was the pinnacle of my trip for sure. Everyone wanted to go into the church and see the church and all that kind of stuff. And people were talking about connecting with the spirits that were there. Some people were very sad, like they felt really, really sad by the area. I did not. I felt so alive. I spent time with every single one of those 8 trees, and I just opened myself up to a pulsating power, like so much love, the love of standing in a place that people have held as sacred, the love of these trees, witnessing the tears of relatives, the love of the land for these trees, the land for the nourishment of these bodies that were buried there. It was so profound and opened me in a way to ancestral power that I hadn't felt ever in my life. Again, so many other people had very disparate experiences compared to what I had. For me, this just enlivened my soul in a way that I will remember forever. If you can ever visit the trees at St. David's, do it. What a gift to be a witch in Wales. This was a life-changing experience for me. I will forever be changed in the way that I perform elemental magic, in the way that I connect with the elements. And I feel like my ability to understand the wheel of the year and the way that I resonate with it has been multiplied, has been empowered, has been enriched. Special thanks to all the people on the tour who actually took pictures of me, or I wouldn't have any. And to especially Alice. If you saw an amazing photograph on here, that photograph belonged to her. She's an amateur photographer, but amazing. So thank you to everyone on the trip who blessed me with their spirit and gave me the chance to really have the time to reflect with them and their beautiful energies.